This is Scott Bach-Hansen, Vice President for Cardinal Basketball Officials Association. This is a follow-up email on the varsity evaluation forms that we're doing through Arbiter. As a result of the evaluations, there are some new pieces that I wanted to share with you today that we were unaware were available to officials. Today I'm signed in as Tom King because as an administrator I don't have the same purview as you do as officials, so I wanted to make sure that you would see this. So if I click on evaluations here, you'll notice that Tom has evaluations set for his game, which is later on this afternoon, and when he's done he'll hit start and do that. But what I wanted to show you today was that you have the ability to view responses of how you've been evaluated. Not only will you be able to see scores and where your areas may be for improvement, but also you might be able to see comments if any have been left. So as I click on View Responses, you'll notice it says CBOA Varsity Evaluation Form. Tom's received 6 responses. That means he has 6 evaluations with an average score of 4.13. As I click on this, it will take us to the second page, and it has the different categories. And you'll notice here that there are 5 different areas where we score. These are the average score per category. So as an official, if I were to read this, I would say, well, I'm getting a lower score in category C, which is rules knowledge, signals, court positioning. Now, I understand that's a lot to encompass, but that might be an area to focus on. Furthermore, if I want to see comments from my fellow officials, should there be any, I would just click on the score per section. So here, under pregame, postgame, I'm going to click on this. Now, it won't tell me who typed this in, but it does give me an opportunity to understand what the feedback is. So here Tom has 1 comment. If I go to court presence, he has another 1 comment. Under section 3, I have 1 comment. And if I had 2 or 3 comments, there would be different bullets. Here, he has 1 comment. And here, Tom has 1 comment. So one thing to think about is we were not aware that the comments would be available to officials. This is something we discovered after the fact. Now, many of you have asked, how do I get to see comments that are left? I'd like to be able to see if there's any comments left. Okay, now officials don't have to leave comments unless it is a score of a 1 or a 2. However, as you can see, based on Tom's situation, we've had some comments left for him. Obviously, this is not a 1 or 2 if they say that Tom has excellent game management skills. So if you want to see what the comments are, they're here. Now, in the same vein, we also shared that those comments would not be visible except for administrators. Now, the administrators see who left the comments. I get to see not only who left the comments, but who scored who. The individual officials do not get to see this. But the information provided in the comments is available for all officials. I share this with you for 2 reasons. One is I want to make sure that you're aware that they're there so that you might be able to receive some constructive feedback and be able to work on potentially identifying areas of growth. The second thing is a lot of times when comments are left, they can be left in a way that may not necessarily be received well. And so if you are trying to be anonymous and you don't want your partner to see a comment, but you'd rather have it shared, then you have one of 2 thoughts here. Either you cannot leave a comment here, and you can send one to me separately to my email address, which is cboavp@gmail.com. However, you can also send an email or a comment here. You can post a comment that may not necessarily be as negative. The way we give feedback, I think, is sometimes we put ourselves into a position where we either don't want to give the feedback because we don't want to be mean, or we don't want to sound mean, or we don't want to give the feedback because we don't want to be called out as if somebody disagrees with us. So, look, I understand that there's different personalities out there. If you have a comment that you'd like to share, I'd recommend that you share it. There's a different way that you can deliver that message. I think the delivery of the message sometimes is worse than the message itself. So if you have a situation where, I'll give a perfect example. I watched a game video the other night where a trail had a hard time getting across the division line, lacked hustle, did not look like they were engaged. So my response in a comment might be, under the positioning category, would like to see better positioning in trail to ensure that calls are made while in the front court. Okay, and then if there's something that you just feel like, hey, I really feel like this official is lazy and you don't want to put that on a paper, then email it to me and I will make sure that the information gets communicated in the right way at the end of the season. So anyway, that's something that's new. I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of that because you may be leaving a comment. If I was working a game with Tom and Tom gave a technical foul to a coach and I didn't think it was appropriate, and I left a comment that said, I thought the technical foul against the coach was BS, then Tom would be able to figure it out that it's either one of two people, and based on personality, can probably narrow it down as to who left that comment. So I wanted to make sure you were aware of that as well because we want to try to be positive and professional and respectful, but we also want to make sure that we are providing feedback that is beneficial for use. So again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me and let me know. But again, if I'm on my main page and I just click on evaluations and I click on view responses, and all I have to do is click on the score, and that takes me here. Now, if I want to look into the category again and the definition, I can do that. Okay, I can look at the definition and I can see what the score is, and if there's any comments, they'll be there as well. And if there's any overall comments, I can click the overall score, and there's overall comments. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of the year. Thanks.